Hello guys, it's Commando Doggo, welcome back to Starbase. So I said I wasn't probably not going to do any more design videos, but I changed my mind because I was just too excited not to show this new ship off. So basically what it is, it's a multi-purpose mining ship that I just finished a prototype for, and it's kind of a new category of ship that I haven't done before, and it's going to be like a strafing ship. So it's a ship that can fly straight forward and attack people that are attacking me as I'm flying straight forward, so I don't have to change course. And by using the autonomous turrets on the sides there and my brand new moving cockpit here, I can turn around 360 and I can look everywhere, turn behind, shoot people behind me, shoot people in front, and I don't have to turn the ship around. I can just keep flying straight forward. I also have an extra seat here in case I have a co-pilot in the future, but it's not really necessary because I can control everything from the top. And if we look inside here, not only do we have plate protection, which I've made see-through here, but we've also got 4 layers of crates on all sides, and all the important parts of the ship are just squashed in here, protected by all the crates and all the plates. So all the important parts like the YOLO, the generators and the turntables, it's all buried inside the ship in the center. We've also got some extra bits on the bottom and the top, the attic and the basement of the ship. We've got all the essentials like working benches. We've got about just over 200 back thrusters with tier 3 nozzles, and unfortunately I kind of reached a soft cap of how fast you can go with this weight, so I might have to use plasma thrusters in the future because the ship can only fly 105 meters per second, and that's not quite fast enough, so I might have to redesign that. But I took it out for some tests today anyway, and I'll show you that later. So here we have the turntables, it goes all the way up. And once we get to the top here, we're into the cockpit, which will rotate the cockpit, and then we have the pitch, the artificial pitch, which moves the cannons, the railguns. And on top of that we have a seat, so it will pitch with the seat as well, so I can aim exactly where the cannon's aiming. In addition to that, we have another turntable on top of the pitch to rotate the seat, so I can turn the whole thing around 360. So if I go on here, I can mouse aim, I can look left, I can look right, I can shoot the rail cannons, and then I can do this little maneuver here, and now I'm facing right behind myself at the rear of the ship. I can also just, with a click of a button, I can turn the auto turrets on. I can fire torpedoes, although they are extremely buggy and they don't always work. And then I'll just leave the seat here and it will go back into default position. So here, let's say I'm being chased by some fighters or whatever, I can just flip my turret around, my seat around. Now I'm looking behind myself. I can see my thrusters, I can shoot whoever's chasing at me, and I also have the assistance of the auto turrets as well, so whoever's chasing me will have to face a lot of fire. In addition to that, we also have torpedoes. So on the turrets I fitted torpedoes, just 1 each, and they are very buggy like I said earlier, but they're actually guided torpedoes that move wherever I'm aiming with the cockpit, they will follow. So I can guide torpedoes, I can shoot the auto turrets, and I can also shoot people myself, all at the same time while I'm flying forward. And as you can see, the torpedo is still following my laser. I've also added an auto search script to the torpedo, so if it loses track, it will search itself for the laser and then get back on target. So there's so much YOLO on this ship that there's a lot of errors and some things don't start randomly, so I'm worried it's not going to work very well. But I'm going to buy it on the PTU server and give it a test and see how it works. Okay, so I kid you not, but I literally got a blue screen of death right after I bought the ship on the PTU, and I had a lot of problems with buttons turning on by themselves, so I had spent a while trying to fix that, but eventually I managed to get the ship working and build it again and test it on the PTU with some friends to see how it does in combat. Okay, so those first 3 attempts did not go well, so even though the ship was working in principle, because every time I turned my turrets on, my 2 auto turrets, the frame rate slowed down so bad that I could barely control what I was doing, and I could barely aim the turret, and in addition to that, the aim was very jittery, so I couldn't get a good lock on any target. Even though I could move the turret fast and move the cockpit very quickly, I couldn't get a good lock on because every slight mouse movement of the hand would literally make it jump too far in any given direction. In addition to that, I got kicked out again. As soon as his ship got very close to mine, the frame rate dropped, my my cockpit span out of control, and even though I did a really good maneuver there and I managed to aim at the rear of him as he was flying past, which was pretty cool, as soon as I finished that maneuver, the turret again span out of control and I got kicked out from the seat, and now it's just clipping inside itself. So yeah, it was a very buggy mess, and it definitely needs a lot of work before I can take this out into action. But anyway, next up, we did have a few more attempts against a smaller ship. Someone came in with a medium fighter, a small fighter, I'm not sure, they had quite a lot of guns, and I did a little bit better, but still not too well. So in my final attempt I actually did okay. I managed to land a shot for the first time at close range. Well, I did get a few hits before, but I didn't actually see them. This was the first time I actually saw myself hit a target with the rail cannons. And ironically, even though I got trapped inside my own cargo crate again from the turret seat bugging out, my auto turrets managed to finish him off. So I actually survived this last encounter. So at least I got one win in the day after many failed attempts. So yeah, the ship needs a lot of work. The turret kind of spins out of control sometimes, and I think it's due to the low frame rate. So I had good fun there, having a few fights and testing out the features, but it was a bit of a disappointment, mostly because my ship's slow frame rate was causing me to bug out, was causing my seats to bug me off, and I couldn't get a good lock on any target because the aim was a little bit too jumpy. And I'm not quite sure how to fix that because I did try the lever bind speed slowing down, and additionally some ships were able to fly circles around me when they shouldn't be able to because my top speed was only 105 and it's not really fast enough for a strafing ship. However, I do think I'm onto something. I think if I can build a ship that can move at top speed 150 or close to top speed, maybe 140, maybe using plasma thrusters next time. I know they're expensive, but I think that's my only option. Then I think a strafing ship could work, and I do think it would have its uses. And additionally, I do think I need to fortify the cockpit more as well, because I did get cockpit sniped a little bit through the glass because I've only got 3 layers of medium glass, and I was shot through that a few times. But overall it was a good test. I got to see exactly what the weaknesses were, and I do think I'm onto a good concept here, and I will try and make a better one in the future. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think a strafing ship is a good idea? Something I can just go straight forward through an engagement, through a battlefield, and not have to turn around. That way I can focus all the armor on the front and the back. Or do you think this is just crazy? Well, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.